Hello there, it's now time for the Big Q, and today we are going to delve deeper into the education sector and some of the challenges that are in the sector and how they can be addressed. And to do that, joining me on the Big Q is the Director General for Rwanda Education Board, Mr. Janvier Gasana. You're welcome.
Thank you.
It's something that has been a debate for quite some time. The fact that Rwanda did a transition from French to English dominancy, how are you ensuring, since you're mostly in charge of the basic education, how are you ensuring that we have this smooth transition?
Yeah, you remember that that policy have been put in place in 2009, and since then a number of strategies have been adopted to make sure that there is a smooth transition. Among those, you remember the famous school-based mentorship program that we hired teachers from the region to come here from Anglophone countries, if I can use that terminology, to come here and try to, to support our teachers and ensure that transition. And we did so, and now we have been, since 2009 up to now, there is almost 5 years, if not 6. So the recent assessment that we made, we found out that actually our teachers made a lot of improvement in terms of English proficiency.
You've talked about teachers, and that brings me to the question of NJIRINSHUTI Andrew. Are our teachers competent enough to take us where we want to be? Are they motivated, or can we do better?
Yeah, the competency and the motivation are two different things. For the competency, yes, because if we look into the profile of a qualified teacher here in Rwanda, we have in basic education, we are not bad because we have achieved over 90% of qualification of teachers that we use. But if we go to the motivation part, you see that people always link the motivation with the salary. And for the salary, I have to confess, we are not giving the good salary to our teachers. Yes, we admit. But there is other programs that can, support the salary that we are giving to make the welfare of teacher, better. I can mention the famous MUHAWENIMANA BETTY, you know it? Mm-hmm. Now we are seeing that at least our teachers begin to be motivated, begin to love their job because their life is getting better now. Yeah.
And we head to one MUHAWENIMANA BETTY. Mm-hmm. And that is bringing one of the glaring issues that we have in the sector. Why do we still have many cases of children abandoning school to engage in business?
Yeah, that is a complex issue between the environment and the parents. Because if a school is located near the border, for example, where there is a small business around the border, and there is always a temptation for children to drop out the school and go make some little money there. If those children don't have very strict parents, yeah, we will always have the dropout from time to time. But if we have a parent who always link up with the teachers to see the progress of their children, those dropout you cannot see them. So we keep insisting parents to keep, bringing their children to school, but also work together with the teachers to avoid some of the challenges because depending to the environment of the school. So, but it's not an issue that you cannot generalize over the country. It's because it depends on the location of the school.
Now, Winnie Muhumuza, the publishing industry is dominated by foreigners and most reading materials are imported. What is REB doing to attract Rwandans in this sector? And she cites a very pertinent issue here, especially since 90% of government budget on books goes out of the country.
In fact, this question is very pertinent, and I thank very much Muhumuza for this question. Now, the question comes to the right time because we are in the process of tender of the new learning and teaching materials for the new curriculum now we are about to implement next year. So what we see and what we have already said to all Rwandans is that they need to come into this market. They need to compete because we have opened a tender, and the local company are also welcome to bid. But for them to be a local company doesn't give them a right to have to be single sourced. They need to compete. They need to be competent enough so that they can compete with the other international companies, because at the end of the day we need the quality textbooks. Sure. Yeah, we cannot say that we are going to use local company but get substandard textbooks. So we need at the same time quality textbooks, but it will be very good if we have those quality textbooks from the local company, and they are on board now. Most of them have bought the bid document, and they are in the process of writing books. And I think this year will be different from other years that we have seen. So let's hope that in this tender we will have more local company on board.
And that brings in Paul Ruhamya's question: what measures are in place to initiate strong partnerships between government and private operators in order to produce graduates with relevant skills that are needed on the job market?
Rwandan government has put in place all measures of attracting private operators, and we are doing the same in the education sector. So we keep calling people to invest in education. In fact, for us, we can be relieved to continue building classrooms year by year, because private sector will be coming. So we keep welcoming the private operators in this sector. Yeah.
Now, over to NET. What happened to private coaching centers, or the ones commonly known as Candida Libre? Yeah, are they still operational?
They are still there. Even now, we are about to begin the national exam. They will sit for exam, and there's the rules and the regulation for Candida Libre for them to be able to register. They are still there, but where they are passing through to be able to become Candida Libre, that's where we keep discouraging.
Thank you very much. Yeah. I'm afraid our time is done.
Okay.
Yeah, but thank you so much for your questions too. But I realize we've been receiving many questions, and this time around, what we're going to do is make sure that we have part 2 for some of your questions to be answered. So for this one, time is out. Let's meet at part 2.